Hello everyone, Lochs in the rolling hills of Argyll were the target for our annual fishing trip this year. This is an area we have previously fished and knew what specific lochs to target, but we also wanted to explore some new lochs. Due to our work commitments, we left Glasgow quite late and could not squeeze an evening fishing session on our first night. Following morning fully refreshed, we had plans to fish Lochgilphead Angling Club's loch in the hills above Cairnbaan village. We drove to Lochgilphead, brought permits from the angling shop where the owner was very helpful and he directed us to a few lochs and showed the fly pattern that had recently been successful. We drove up the hills in anticipation, however the weather was not on our side as forecast was for calm and bright sunshine later in the evening. We got set up ready and walked to the first loch close to the car park. The surface was like mirror and there being no fish movement, giving it a miss and leaving it on the way back was the obvious choice. The second loch on the map we chose was a fair distance and took us around 45 minutes to get there. This was a difficult loch to fish due to high banks but looked promising in gentle breeze that had now started to blow. We covered one end of loch with buzzer and slightly dressed flies without any success and decided to move on when breeze stopped, turning the surface like mirror. The third loch we chose was a bit higher up in the hills. We headed up hoping for some breeze. This again was a fair distance away, however there were numerous forestry tracks making it easy to walk. Arriving at the loch we were delighted with gentle breeze as hoped and somewhat easier access to the banks. One member of our party rose and missed a good sized fish on first few casts. This was something we needed to put our hopes up as all morning we struggled due to the conditions and lack of fish activity. For the next hour or so we landed a few small sized fish before a well earned lunch break. After the lunch break, plan was to fish far end of the loch as the wind had now changed direction. Although difficult to walk through the overgrown vegetation, and the plan paid off as there were few rises to keep us interested. Wind by now had also picked up. We connected and landed a few fish up to the pound and a half along the various bays and also lost a good number of decent sized fish. It was still bright sunshine but the wind helped. Zulu and black dabbler proved successful flies in the ripples. This more than made up for the disappointing morning we had. We fished this loch till the fish activity stopped and headed to the fourth loch of the day, a short distance away from this loch. This was also a decent sized loch. We fished one end losing a few fish, however failed to land any fish. After an hour or so of fishing, it was time to leave for a long walk back towards the car park and explore the possibility of fishing the first loch we gave a miss earlier in the day. It was approaching 9 p.m. when we got back, but this loch was again very still and mirror-like surface with no fish activity. We had a few casts here and decided to call it a day. The day did not turn out as we had hoped, but considering the conditions and landing some decent sized fish, we all left happy with the day's proceeding. Guys, thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like it. Do remember to join us for upcoming more exciting adventures. See you all until our next video. Stay safe. Cheerio.